Hello and welcome to What Are We Playing This Week, the show where I try to recommend to you some video games based on a certain idea, and this week's idea is autumn or fall. That ever-pleasant season when the leaves turn brown and die and trees go into hibernation and everything starts looking like a desolate Eastern European province that's devoid of all hope and dreams. Sure, fall's nearly over and pretty soon we'll be in winter, but hey, I forgot to do this show in September, so let's get it started. First one up on the list is The Whispered World. Daedalic is a developer that's been around for about 10 years, and for 10 years they've been making consistently superb games. Well, good games at least. Decent ones if you count the strategies. And they've done so with a speed that's kind of insane. If you compare what they do on a regular basis with their adventure games with something like Double Fine, you start to wonder, why aren't we giving more money to these people? Especially since one of their first games was The Whispered World, a very charming adventure game about, I believe you play as a circus clown. To be honest, I haven't played it since it came out, so I may be a bit fuzzy on the details, but the aesthetics in this game were superb. All of it looks hand-drawn and perfect. The scenery is amazing, the characters are detailed, and it gives that sense of, man, it sure is fall outside, isn't it? And it is. And hey, you can find it right now on Steam in the special edition variant for the low price of just €6.80, which isn't a lot. And if that's still too much, you can get it for just €5 in a bundle that contains a bunch of other Daedalic adventure games. It's actually kind of bizarre that in a bundle with 5 other games it's actually cheaper. But yeah, you can get it like that, and I recommend it because it was a very nice adventure game from what I remember playing it about 7 years ago. Up next is predictable as hell, Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars. This game begins with the words Paris in the Fall. How could I not put it here? Because it just succeeds in recreating the experience, the romanticized, picturesque image of Paris when the leaves are brown and the trees are slowly withering, and somewhere there's a clown going around killing people with exploding accordions, you know. Oh boy, I kind of walked right into that, didn't I? It was easier to make jokes like these 10 years ago. Actually, it was easy to make jokes about bombing just about everywhere up until about 20 years ago. Well, not anywhere, but still. Broken Sword's on Steam right now for just €1.70, so moving on to something less delicate. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Now, this is a game built specifically for immersion into an environment that just happens to be a valley with forests and very, very nice mountains in view in the fall. Graphically, this game is superb. It uses that photogrammetry method that allows you to scan things from real life and then put them in game. And sure, it may have some issues like the lighting on certain objects, especially rocks, being kind of, well, the same. It looks like someone flashed a light around it, took a picture, and then tried to apply a shader to it to make it seem like there's an actual sun lighting it up in certain parts, but you can clearly see that the lighting on it is not from in-game for the most part. And the plants, the 2D plants, really, well, they're not 2D, they're just polygons with no width and look horrible, but that's only compared to the rest of the scenery that looks astonishing. So if you want something for immersion with some good puzzles in it, not a lot of them, but a few good ones, then yes, get The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. It's on Steam right now for just €3.80 because of the big Steam sale that will expire later today, so hurry up and get it. And there's a VR version too for just €5.70. Go get it. And I'm gonna recommend one more, mostly because it's under $1 on Steam. It's Costume Quest. For those who don't know, this game made by Double Fine, one of their more interesting, well, they did have a time when they made interesting games and didn't shaft Oh, so totally shaft their audience. This is a game where you play as one of two kids on Halloween night, you're going out to trick or treat, and the world's been invaded by monsters that steal candy, and the adults don't pay attention to them because they believe them to be people in costumes, but the kids know what they are and they're trying to fight against them, and their costumes come to life, and their armor, they give them powers, abilities, and they let them fight these creatures in a Final Fantasy-esque battle mode. It's a charming game with a very well crafted visual style that just harkens to the idea of, well, this is autumn, this is the fall, this is Halloween, this is the end of October, the beginning of November, this is beautiful. And people from the US and Canada will absolutely love this because of the Halloween thematic. It may not be as effective on normal people, but still it can be a charming game, especially for kids. It's not horrible or anything like that, it's just that the combat sort of becomes repetitive and dull after a while, well, just like it did in every JRPG since 1991. Well, that would be it for the Autumn Edition, the Fall Edition of What Are We Playing this week. I'll be back next week with some new gaming recommendations, this time something that's a bit more timely. Thank you for watching this show. If you enjoyed it, please consider watching some of our other videos and maybe sharing them or giving a thumbs up if you feel like it. And if you really liked what you saw, please check out our Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you could help us make much better shows and get some rewards in the process. Or you could consider buying my book called Tale of Doom. Volume 1 is out now and available for just $2. And as always, if you thought it was horrible, you know where to find me and complain about it.